I first heard about it's Building 2283 a few months after arriving on Okinawa. Everybody on Kadena seemed to know the story. It didn't matter if they were Air Force, civilian, or local workers on base. If you brought up the old house near the USO parking lot, people either laughed nervously or told you not to go anywhere near it after dark. At first, I thought it was just another military ghost story. Every base has one. But the longer I stayed on Okinawa, the more often I heard the same address whispered by different people who had no connection to each other. Building 2283. The Haunted House.
If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe for more stories from Japan you've probably never heard.
One night during October, a friend convinced me to join one of the annual ghost tours that stopped there every Halloween season. Around 30 of us piled into a small bus and drove through the quiet housing area reserved for officers and civilians. The neighborhood itself felt normal. Street lights, empty sidewalks, perfectly trimmed lawns. And then we turned the corner and saw the house. Even before the guide said anything, the mood changed. The place looked wrong somehow. Not abandoned exactly. Just hollow. Like something inside it had been waiting a very long time. The guide told us the stories everyone on base already knew. Back in the 1970s, an Air Force officer had supposedly murdered his family inside the home before killing himself. Years later, another family moved in. Neighbors said they became paranoid almost immediately. Constant arguments, sleepless nights, violent behavior. Then one day, the father snapped and attacked his own family. After that, people stopped wanting the house. Residents nearby reported hearing children crying late at night. Others claimed they saw a woman standing at the sink inside the abandoned kitchen, slowly washing her hair. Teachers at the daycare next door said kids on the playground kept throwing toys over the fence because the little children on the other side wanted to play with them. The guide spoke calmly, but nobody in our group was joking anymore. You could feel everyone watching the dark windows, waiting for movement. The strangest part was how quiet the neighborhood had become. No insects, no cars, nothing. Then the guide started talking about the reports of samurai apparitions. People claimed to see armored warriors on horseback moving through the halls of the house at night. One former resident supposedly woke up to the sound of horses running across the floor. That was when it happened. A phone started ringing inside the house. Not a cell phone, an old landline, loud enough for every single person in the backyard to hear. Everyone froze. The guide stopped speaking immediately. The ringing continued. 1, 2, 3 times. Then people started backing away from the fence. Someone near me whispered, "There's no power in there." The ringing suddenly stopped. For maybe 3 seconds, nobody moved. And then the entire group panicked. People sprinted toward the bus, almost at the same time. I remember hearing nervous laughter, but it sounded forced. Like everyone was trying not to admit they were genuinely terrified. I got on the bus last because I couldn't stop staring at the windows. I swear to God. The curtain moved. Not fluttered. Moved. Like someone had slowly pulled it aside to look out at us. A few weeks later, curiosity got the better of me. I went back. Not alone. 2 friends came with me. but none of us told anyone where we were going. The house had already been abandoned for years by then, mostly used for storage. We found an unlocked rear entrance and stepped inside with flashlights. The second I crossed the doorway, my stomach dropped. It was freezing. Not cool. Freezing. Outside was typical Okinawa summer heat. Humid enough to choke on, but inside the house felt like industrial air conditioning had been blasting for years. One of my friends immediately asked, "Do you feel that?" We all did. The deeper we went, the colder it became. The beam from my flashlight shook slightly as we walked down the hallway. The place smelled old. Wet wood, mold, dust. But underneath that was something metallic, like rust or blood. One room near the back of the house felt colder than the others by several degrees. The temperature shift was so sudden, it made the hairs on my arms stand up. That was where we saw the stains. Dark marks across part of the floor. More stains on old curtains hanging crooked beside the window. I didn't want to get closer. Something about that room felt occupied. Not physically, it just watched. Then we heard footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Not creaking wood settling. Actual footsteps. One of my friends whispered, "Did someone else come in?" But the steps stopped the moment he spoke. Silence again. I remember pointing my flashlight down the hallway and realizing my hands were shaking. And then came the sound I still think about sometimes late at night. A child laughing, very faint, very quick, from the room next to us. We ran. I don't even remember making the decision. 1 second we were frozen in place. The next we were sprinting through the hallway and out into the Okinawa heat, gasping for air. None of us spoke during the drive home. Years later, I read about a seance held inside the house during Halloween of 1994. According to the story, the woman conducting it claimed she contacted the spirit of a little girl inside the home. The girl allegedly said she was afraid of the man on the horse. After hearing that, I never wanted to know anything else about Building 2283, because some places don't feel haunted in the usual sense. They feel contaminated, like whatever happened there never ended. The building has been demolished since. Because sometimes, late at night, people would report they hear a telephone ringing and curtains moving inside the empty house.